I'm just finishing my advent calendar because that's the type of person I am. Oh, it's a Christmas tree. Can you see that? Lovely. Today's the 1st of January 2021. We're still stuck in tier 4 here, so I can't really leave the house much, and I'm still working from home all the time. So I wanted to try and do something that encouraged me to leave the house a bit more. I thought, why not make a vlog series sort of revolving around bird watching. I'm not sure if that's going to be interesting to anybody except me and maybe like 2 other people, but I can't really do much else at the moment. So the challenge that I'm setting myself for 2021 is to try and see as many species of bird as possible. Starting from today and ending on the 31st of December 2021, we'll see how it goes. I will start this by saying I'm not the world's best bird watcher. Hopefully this will give me an opportunity to hone my birding skills and try and improve my identification, and I thought I would bring you along with me to see how well I do. For those like me who like statistics and numbers and stuff, there are 622 birds on the British bird list, but that means there are 622 birds that have been seen legitimately in Britain as a whole ever. I think that's it. Correct me if I'm wrong. So I'm not expecting to see anywhere near 622 bird species, but I can make a good go of it. Slight hindrances this year that I can't really travel very far, so that will make things a little bit more difficult. The rules I'm setting myself, number 1, is just birds that I've seen, not heard. I think sometimes people include birds that they've heard as well, but my knowledge of bird calls is very minimal, so I'm gonna just stick with birds I've seen. Otherwise I could just make up birds and I'll never know if I'm wrong. And I'm not gonna make a massive concerted effort at the start to see birds because I've got all year and I feel like I should try and spread this out, otherwise I'm gonna see 50 birds in the first day and then nothing for 3 weeks. So please join me, or don't. You could just look at the birds in your own garden and that will probably be just as interesting, if not more interesting, than watching me attempt to do it. This is my bird feeder setup as seen through my window. Yes, it's just an old scaffolding pole, but it does the job. And while I've been chatting to you guys, I have seen out of the corner of my eyes 3 bird species, I think. So far we have had Gimbal is doing a great job at helping me find the birds, aren't you? Is that one? I'm sitting at my living room window and trying to remember the fact that I'm excited about seeing blue tits and robins because it's the first time I've seen them this year, so I can add them to the list. But tomorrow they'll be boring again. Not boring, they're lovely. I'm on a walk in the woods and it's very wet. So far I've seen a blackbird and a wood pigeon, but I'm starting to realise that this vlog is going to end up being more me telling you what I've seen more than me showing you, because I see birds and then they fly away and then they've gone before I could take a video of them. I just saw something. I'm pretty sure it was a buzzard, but I don't know. And I'm sure I'll correctly identify a buzzard at some point. Oh, this is a bit Blair Witchy. Where did it go? Oh, I hate birds. Why do they have to move? I'm hoping to see a pheasant on this walk, because I think they breed pheasants somewhere in this wood. Hoping to see a pheasant is not a phrase I ever thought I'd say, to be honest. I've added 2 new birds, crow and red kite. But still no sign of a pheasant. Very unusual. Probably should have taken some binoculars with me today. That's sort of a key part of birding that I've forgotten. I can only count the bird as a species on my list if it's on the British bird list. So not these guys. Sorry. It's Monday now and I didn't really vlog anything over the weekend. I did see 2 pheasants having an argument through the kitchen window, and I saw my first goldfinches of the year while I was up a ladder clearing out my gutters. Thrilling stuff, I know. And then today, as I left the house, I saw a magpie outside. If I believed in that whole luck thing about magpies, I'm sure seeing one solitary magpie says something. I'm now back to working from home because it's Monday, yay. So I've just been looking at birds through the window, and I did spot new birds on my feeders. I got some long-tailed tits. I love long-tailed tits because they're one of the cutest birds that we have. They're so cute. And I've just been to the post office, and all I saw on the way there was some more wood pigeons. It's not very exciting. We are now in lockdown number 3, which is fun. It's necessary, so I'm okay with it. And I'm fortunate that I'm not somebody who leaves the house a lot anyway, so it's not really changed things much for me. But it does mean that I can't go travelling to all the nature reserves that are near me because I have to drive to them rather than walk. But that's okay, hopefully I'll go later in the year. For now I've got some lakes that are near me that I can walk to. But I thought, as I can't really leave the house much at the moment, the rest of this week's vlog, as it's been mostly garden related stuff, I would show you how I do my feeders in my garden. I'm not sure if anyone cares, but here you go. I am in my rat shed right now, just saying hello to some of the rats, because that's where I store all my bird food. Hi guys! Oh, it's very exciting. The main things that I feed are peanuts, sunflower seeds and fat balls. So I'm going to do my fat balls first. This is quite a clever little feeder. It's metal again. Just can't open it. I'm running out of fat balls. So the fat balls just fall in and just go to the bottom. If you buy fat balls and they're covered in like plastic mesh stuff, try and get a proper feeder like this, because the plastic mesh stuff can get caught in the bird's feet. So I put it in that, and normally if I've got more, I fill it all up. I've got loads of bits at the bottom of this, so I'm probably just going to chuck them on the ground by my bird feeder. The next thing I feed is peanuts. So I've got 2 peanut feeders. This one's squirrel proof. This one is not so squirrel proof, as you can probably see from this plastic bit at the bottom that they've chewed. Thank you. If you're feeding whole peanuts, always use a mesh feeder like this, especially in breeding season, because whole peanuts can apparently get stuck in like the baby birds' throats, which obviously we don't want. Then I have 3 types of seed feeder, which seems a little excessive. I've got a metal one, which I put sunflower hearts in. As you can see, squirrels don't like sunflower hearts quite as much as peanuts. Haven't chewed this one. I also have some plastic feeders that I just put normal seed in. The birds don't like the normal seed as much as the sunflower hearts, so that gets used a lot slower. And then I also have a Niger seed feeder, but to be honest, I think once I run out of this Niger seed, I'm not going to buy more. I read somewhere that if you've got a basic seed mix and Niger seed, finches and stuff will always go for the Niger seed, but if you've got Niger seed and sunflower hearts, they'll always choose the sunflower hearts. It's like the premium food. Sunflower hearts on their own are a lot more expensive than a normal seed mix, but the birds seem to prefer them a lot more. When I last bought sunflower hearts, I bought chopped up sunflower hearts instead of whole ones. I think it was just because it was slightly cheaper, but I've decided I prefer the whole ones. I think I might stick with them next time. They make less of a mess. Done. That's all my bird feeders full. Let's go put them out. My seed feeder and my fat ball feeder I just put on this tree in my back garden. Lovely. And then I can see them when I'm doing my washing up from the kitchen. Haven't seen a gull yet this year, which is weird. I always see black-headed gulls when I go to Sainsbury's, but I'd forgotten the fact that it gets dark at about 4 o'clock at the moment, so by the time I got to Sainsbury's it was pitch black and there were no gulls anywhere. I still haven't seen a gull this year. So this is my very fancy setup for my bird feeders. It's just a bit of scaffolding pole connected together, a bit of wire with hooks on that hooks the 2 feeders here. This is my Niger seed feeder. As you can see, it's still full to the brim. They just don't really care about it. Cool, so that's my setup. My suggestion, if you want to set up bird feeders, is to make sure that it's somewhere fairly sheltered so that they're not blowing around in the wind all the time, but also that it's in a reasonably open bit of space so that the birds can see when there are predators around and they're safe to come and feed. But you also find that birds queue up to feed, so my birds will sit in this tree here and they'll wait patiently until they can see a free spot on the bird feeder, fly over, get their food and then fly back into the tree to eat it. I also put a bit of this seed on the ground here, and that's for the ground feeding birds like robins and blackbirds. And then I'm also going to chuck the remnants of the fat balls there as well, so that'll get eaten up really quickly. the end of week 1, it's been a quiet week and I saw far fewer birds than I was expecting to, because I was hoping to have opportunities to go places in the car that now I can't. But that's okay. It means that this quest will be extended quest. It's not really a quest. Whatever this is. I've ended the week seeing 17 bird species. None of them are particularly interesting. They're all pretty common ones that I would expect to see in the first week. What I've done is created a list on the BUBO website, so if you want to see the full list, I will link that below. It's slightly odd that I've managed to get a week into 2021 and not yet seen any species of gull or any ducks, easy birds that I probably should have been able to see by now but haven't left the house. So my plan is next week I'm gonna spend a bit of time walking down to the lakes that I can walk to, and finding lots of new birds. See you next week.